Hi, I'm William Mills at FinovateEurope, and I'm with Harrie Vollard, who's with Rabobank, and specifically, he's head of Rabo Frontier Ventures. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing very well.
Appreciate you joining us. Well, first, tell us a little bit about Rabobank and specifically your work with Rabobank Venture.
Yeah, I can give you a little background of why
Yes.
we actually set up Rabo Frontier Ventures, which is a corporate investment arm of the bank. And it actually goes back to the financial crisis in 2008, and in the aftermath of the financial crisis, the banks were very busy with themselves, which is actually a seeding ground for a lot of new initiatives, new fintechs. So what we saw, the primary control of innovation was actually shifting from the incumbents to the fintech ecosystem, and we recognized that in a very early stage. So we started collaborating with accelerator programs around the globe, also here in London, but also in Amsterdam and New York, to get access and to understand what was going on. And from that, it led to several direct investments in fintech startups. And we actually, 2 years back, we decided, let's put everything together in one fund with a clear mandate. And that was actually the background why we set up the corporate investment arm, which is called Rabo Frontier Ventures. We have done 10 investments so far, so it's going great. And we are not only focusing on fintech, but also on AgriTech related companies. And it has to do with the background of our company, of our bank. You know, we're a global leader in the food and ag space.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's cool.
And especially there's an interesting crossover between fintech and agritech. So
tell us about that.
So a couple of examples, from a financial inclusion perspective.
Right.
For instance, in emerging markets, it's really hard to get access to finance, to the financial system from a smallholder farm.
Right.
But through, for instance, satellite imaging, you can actually see how the farmer is performing, can give them a direct advice what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. And from that data you collect from his field, you can actually build up a credit profile, and with that credit profile you can provide him working capital to buy his inputs, for instance. So there, and actually it's also in the benefit of the smallholder farmer itself, because he really improve his yield production.
That's fantastic.
And that's a part in the emerging market, but it can also be applied in the Netherlands or in the US. Then you're talking about precision farming, but that's pretty much the same thing. But all this data collected from the farm itself feeds into the financial system and the financial services you provide.
That's a good story to tell us, because everybody needs food, and better ways to bring the food to market. It makes a lot of sense, and helping farmers in the agricultural business has got to be a very important role.
And it is a major challenge for us. So it's nice that you can combine innovation within the financial industry with a topic that really matters to us all.
Oh, absolutely. Well, clearly. This has been a competitive, having the venture fund, it's been an advantage for your financial institution, correct?
Yeah.
How has it helped your financial institution specifically better compete against other financial institutions?
We do that for several reasons. One reason is just to get access to certain technology, which we don't have, so that actually, getting access to that technology speed up the innovation process internally, to serve our clients better. But the most important reason why we actually set up the corporate investment arms was to look after new revenue streams for the future of the bank, to create strategic options for the future of the bank. And I can give you a very simple example of a company we support in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. It's called Tello, who supports the freelancers, so the self-employed people in the Netherlands. It's a huge market, it's a huge growing market, and it's an underserved market by the financial industry. And what they actually have done is built a very simple layer on top of your bank account, where you can actually do your accounting accounting business,
Right.
on a very simple way. So not on a complex way, but very simple. So you can, create your invoice, send your invoice out, see if it's already being paid, etc., etc. And that creates value for you as a customer.
Right.
And the customer is actually willing to pay for it. So that's via a subscription model. So that's actually an additional revenue stream for the bank as well. So it's actually a win-win situation. So it's
Right.
a win situation for the freelancer as well, a win situation for the bank.
That sounds very cool. And in your position, you probably see some very interesting innovations and forward-thinking technologies. What do you think are the most important trends related to FinTech in the coming years?
Well, that's a very broad question, but I think it's what I'm seeing now. There's a lot of things going on in aggregation. It's in financial data aggregation, which is also enforced by PSD2 in Europe. But that's all nice and handy. But I think the real challenge is to connect that to real life events in your life. Mm-hmm. So make that data aggregation actually relevant for the decisions you have to make as a person. So that's certainly a trend what I'm seeing in the retail market, and that's also the same thing what I'm seeing in the SME market, but then through different means. So invoice finance starts to be incredibly important. It's extremely hot topic nowadays. But that again comes back to how to put, in this case, the SME in control of his finances.
Right.
And that's definitely an overarching theme.
Well, lastly, a little bit different kind of question. What advice would you give to FinTech startups that are currently in accelerator programs?
Well, I think they really, if they want to sell their services to the banks, they really have to listen carefully what the pain points are within the financial industry. So that's one. And the other thing is, it's also really about timing, because the backlogs of the banks are filled up with a lot of items that need to be solved, and you need to be there on the right time to say, okay, they're going to work on that specific backlog item, and I have the perfect solution for you to match that. And I think so, and having a deep understanding of what the financial industry is all about, what the friction is, and also to understand what they are aiming for. That's a key for startups.
Specifically at accelerators.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we really appreciate your time today, and it's great being here. This is William Mills with Harrie Vollard at FinovateEurope.